Number 1, where were you born?
Wilmington, North Carolina.
Who would you want to play you in a movie?
Robert Redford.
Ooh, that would be a good one, actually.
Oh, I'm teasing. I don't even want a movie about me,
But
man.
yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Sure
really.
you do. You may not want it, but it would be fun to watch.
For you.
Yeah. What was your first job?
My first job was working in a tobacco field, cropping tobacco. The first public job I ever had was working in a tobacco warehouse carrying water.
Really?
Yeah, water boy.
What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear would be losing one of my loved ones, one of my friends. Would be.
Which you have, and
Which
it's
I
hard.
have. Oh gosh, I've had. There was a long time that we never. All the years that I had bands, and I had never lost a member, and then all of a sudden, in about 2 years' time, I lost Tommy, who was not in the band at the time, but then Taz. 40 years, Taz was with me, and one night he was there, the next he wasn't, and it was that was a big kick in the head.
Yeah, and when you try to get over, but it's
Yeah.
that hole will always be there to some degree.
yeah.
Who makes you laugh the most?
You make me laugh the most?
Absolutely.
I was thinking Jonathan Winters. Are you comparing yourself?
No, I'd rather not. Who makes you laugh the most? Jonathan Winters?
No, I guess. I don't know.
What is the one thing you need to have in your fridge at all times?
Gatorade.
What is your greatest accomplishment?
I hope I haven't done it yet.
God, that's such a Charlie Daniels answer.
But you know what? I will tell you what I consider to be my greatest accomplishment is keeping 40 people gainfully and steadily employed for 40 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Not many people can say that.
Well, it's a blessing.
Who is the most interesting person you have met recently?
Recently, I was going to say Louis L'Amour, but you said you had to throw that. You had to throw that
I didn't. It's written right there.
caveat in
It's
there.
written,
I don't know. Let's see who. James Stroud.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
cool.
I interviewed him yesterday, by the way.
You interviewed
I
James?
interviewed him for about
You interviewed
45
James
I
Stroud?
did, about 45 minutes.
What is your middle name?
Edward.
Edward. What is your biggest pet peeve?
I got to tell you a little story about that.
About Edward?
Yeah. We used to move around a lot when I was a kid. I was my dad was in the timber business, and I went to ministry different schools a year. And when you go to school, I'd always ask you, what's your name? You tell them Charles Edward Daniels. Well, what do they call you at home? You always say Charles. So I decided one year I was going to a new school. I said, I'm going to change my name.
I did too.
Did you do that?
I changed my name.
Middle name?
I've changed my name is Lawrence. I didn't know how to spell it, so I changed it to Larry.
Well, at least that's a derivative. I went in, they asked me, what's your name? I said, Charles Edward Daniels. Well, what do they call you at home? They always ask me. I said, Edward. So I went by Edward for about 2 years there.
I didn't like the name Stormy, so in first grade I signed all my papers Larry Warren.
Larry Warren.
Yep.
Larry Stormy Warren. Where did Stormy come from, by the way?
It was supposed to be a girl named Wendy, and came out a boy, and it was before ultrasounds. And there was a song by the Association, Wendy's got stormy eyes.
Yeah.
So if you can't have Wendy, Wendy's got stormy eyes.
yeah.
So that's where it came from.
So you're named after an eyeball, right? Is that right?
That's a,
I mean,
I am named after an eyeball.
I mean, you're the only person I have ever met in my life.
Named after an eyeball.
after an eyeball.
You're the first person who's ever
I'm
brought
glad
that
I
up.
asked you that.
Yeah, I'm glad too, because
I mean, the world needs to know that, Stormy.
I'm named after an eyeball. What is your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve. You know what gets me?
Eyeball.
That was a good one. I very seldom have reason to go into a big city driving, during the rush hours. I mean, I ride through on the bus, and I don't go. Once in a while, I have a doctor's appointment in Nashville or something that I have to be in at a certain time. And when I get up here, I go into Interstate 40, and I get up there and I hit that traffic, and I just sit there and burn. Because I'm just not acclimated for it,
Yeah.
I sit there and these people are just smoking, and these people are doing this, and it's like so.
Do not get in his way.
No. I never have road rage. I wouldn't do that, but it's just, it just gets on my nerves. I'm just not.
Especially
I am
here
not
in
acclimated to it. But I used to do it. I mean, I used to do it. When I first left North Carolina, I went to D.C.
Oh yeah,
Washington
for a while.
area, and you couldn't move at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's like you could darn near get out of your car and walk and go and get a beer or something, come back out, and that's how fast the traffic moved.
Yeah.
So I used to do it, but I just don't have the nerves for it anymore. So
I get you.
Yeah.
I don't either. What is the last book you read?
The last book, I always have 3 or 4 books at a time that I'm reading. How do you do that? How do you read 3 or 4 books at a time? I don't know. It's just it's what I do. It's funny. I used to have to carry 5 books. Carry the Bible, and I've got 4 books that I read for like this kind of thing here.
Yeah.
And I read a Jesus Lives, and I won't even go to the back. That's one of their books. That's one of them. But I used to have to carry all these books in my briefcase. But I got one of those iPad. I carry everything on my iPad now. So I've got a great big library on there, and I'll start something, and I'll see something else come out with one of my favorite authors that I like, and I'll start reading it. So I'll be reading 2 or 3 things. I like the blood and guts stuff. I really loved Robert Ludlum and Ken Follett. I love Daniel Silva. You ever read Daniel Silva? Right. He writes about the Secret Service, the spies in Israel and that sort of thing.
Who was that who wrote the Sphinx and all those books back in the day? Gosh, I can't remember.
But I love those kind of books.
Yeah.
And I may have 2 or 3 of them. And right now I've got, what have I got? I got a book the other day. I can't remember. One of my authors had something out. I can't remember.
Yeah.
If I had my iPad, I could tell you.
So basically you're constantly reading.
I'm constantly reading.
That's great. What is your favorite hobby besides reading?
I like, I used to ride horses constantly. We got roping a while back. I still got a roping arena over at the house. And I am not as limber as I used to be, jumping on a horse and everything now like I used to be. I used to do a lot of horseback riding. It's my favorite thing. I enjoy outdoor things. I enjoy fishing.
Yeah.
I spend so much of my time inside because of my profession that when I get a chance to do something outside.
Get outside. You golf for a while too.
Yeah. I'm getting stiff to be playing golf right now, but I still enjoy it.
Damn. What is your guilty pleasure?
My guilty pleasure is chocolate, anything chocolate.
You chocoholic.
I love chocolate. I can eat anything made out of chocolate. If they made chocolate dog biscuits, I could eat them.
Chocolate pizza.
Hey, that's a good. I will to come up with
chocolate dog biscuits.
You invent them, and I'll hit you sell them. Okay.
I'm done. Look what we're doing right here.
Yeah. Okay.
Next time you see us, we're going to be selling chocolate dog biscuits.
Stormy and Charlie's chocolate dog biscuits.
I love it. Do you have any hidden talents? We know you can play everything.
No, not really. I don't think I've got any hidden. If I did, I'd bring them out and you can put them in public.
Can you juggle?
I will tell you something that I do most people don't know about. When I get up in the morning, instead of drinking coffee, I drink Irish breakfast tea. I'm sorry.
No coffee.
Well, I'll still drink coffee, but I drink coffee when I go to work at night. Somebody hands me a cup of coffee, and while I do my meet and greet, I sit at the table and drink a cup of coffee. But in the morning, when I get up, I make a pot of tea, or Hazel will make a pot of tea for me, and I drink Irish breakfast tea. And I'll tell you how I got into it. Mm-hmm. We were touring in Europe. We were leaving Heathrow Airport, coming back home. Still had some funny money left. Funny money being English money.
That's my dad called it too.
But it was not, it was not enough to go cash in and everything,
sure.
Just a few dollars. So we said, let's go to duty free shop and pick out. They had this beautiful little wooden box of Bewley's Irish breakfast tea. Mm-hmm. So I got it and brought it home and started messing with it and kind of got really into it. So they've got a distributorship here, so I'm probably their best customer, I imagine.
Charlie Daniels eating tea and crumpets.
Tea man. I ain't got no crumpets. I don't know how to make them. But
what color is your toothbrush?
My toothbrush is white. I use a Sonic toothbrush.
Oh, I do too.
It's white and about that long.
They work.
They work good.
What is your secret snack besides chocolate?
My secret what?
Snack.
Secret snack. I love popcorn.
Oh, does it get caught in your teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but you still eat it?
I still eat it.
Me too.
Yeah.
And then you pay for it a couple of days later.
It's worth it.
It is worth it.
Yeah.
How do you take your coffee?
I take it black. When I drink coffee at night, when I go in, like a cup of coffee, I always drink it black.
I have to have a little cream in there. What is the last movie you saw in the theater?
The last movie I saw in the theater. Mm-hmm. Gosh, I don't even remember. It's been a long time. I haven't been to movies in a while.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of stuff on my iPad. I watch a lot of stuff on,
Netflix things.
Yeah.
What is a cause near and dear to your heart?
Well, there's a lot there. Anything to do with children and veterans. Mm-hmm. I remember the day, Stormy, that Pearl Harbor was bombed. I remember being at my granddad's house in North Carolina. And I remember, it's odd. When you're 5 years old, you don't remember a lot of things. You can't pinpoint a lot of things. I couldn't tell you what happened the day before, the day after, the week before, the week after, but I can tell you about that one day because I remember it. I remember he had had no TV in those days. It was 1941. He had a big floor model radio. And it was on, and it was inside. It's this broadcast going on, this scratchy broadcast. And they were talking about Pearl Harbor. I didn't know where Pearl Harbor was. I didn't know where Hawaii was. I didn't know anything about it. But I could tell that something very serious was going on. And that was my introduction to the Second World War and what was happening. And I remember all the people going in to join up for service and the draft and all of that particular scene. In the town I was from, Wilmington, North Carolina, we had a shipyard that built Liberty ships. And it was a port city where boats would come through and load up with war goods and take them across the ocean. And there was quite a few of them that were sunk just off our coast. There was a famous, I can't remember his name, there was a famous submarine captain or admiral or something that literally plied the coast of North Carolina because there were so many ports there. Yeah. And he would sink these cargo ships as when it come out. And I've heard it said, I never saw it, but I heard it said it was sometimes so close you could see the fires in the ocean. And so we took the war very seriously. And I found out
it was closer than you thought.
I say this every night on stage. The only thing that protects America is the grace of God and the United States military.
It's amazing. And then you've celebrated the veterans and our servicemen and women for decades.
And we'll continue.
What is the number one thing on your bucket list, or does it have a hole in it?
Number one thing on my bucket list, I want to kill a 8-point buck. And I want to catch a 10-pound largemouth bass.
Those are good things to have on a bucket list. I like that. Last one. You've been everywhere. Where do you want to go that you've never been?
If I could take one trip to a foreign country again, I would go back to Israel. I've been there 3 times. And it's wonderland when you're Christian. Because everything is historical. I mean, the tomb, the everything's there. The wall, the old city is still intact. A lot of it's still intact. And the little tiny streets with the shops on each side and all. It's just a great place to go. And I've developed a love for the Jewish people. Yeah. That I heard somebody told me many years ago that if you ever go to Israel, change your life. It changed my life.
Sure.
It literally changed my life. I have a love for the state of Israel. I am so pro-Israel, man. It's like, and the Bible says, God told Abraham, who was the patriarch, the father of the Jewish nation, he who blesses you, I will bless. He who curses you, I will curse. And we have a president now that's blessing Israel. And a lot of people don't think about that, but he's moved out of all the presidents, and many presidents that have promised to move our embassy to Jerusalem, which is really the capital of Israel. He has done it. And, he's got his faults. I'm not being political here by any means, but I'm saying the more that this nation blesses Israel, the more we will be blessed. That's not me saying it, that's the Word of God saying it.